But we've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time. Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
This new act, as of next week, which is tomorrow, Monday, the 17th of March, forcing social media, search engines, messaging apps, and video platforms like Rumble, like YouTube, to essentially remove content that could be harmful. Now, that's not all just illegal content. Let's look at some of the details. So Section 10 of the revised bill, because the Labour government revised it, authorizes jail time up to 2 years for anyone whose social media message could cause psychological harm, accounting to at least serious distress. The message doesn't even have to cause harm. If the authorities believe that the offender intended to cause harm and that there was a substantial risk of harm, that's enough for a prosecution. There's also a separate crime of transmitting false communications, punishable by fines or up to 51 weeks of imprisonment. 51 weeks. It gets worse. The battle is now between the British government and also Elon Musk. So the Labour's new act, which obviously polices harmful but legal speech, is now being attacked by President Trump and Elon Musk. President Trump is threatening more tariffs on the UK if this goes ahead, which is going ahead in about 2 hours, by the way. The law obviously gives Ofcom more powers to even ban Elon Musk's X in the UK. Again, the idea is doing a crackdown on harmful but legal speech.
Yes. Is this a banned book in
No,
English?
it's not a banned book at all.
So am I allowed to read from the Bible?
Are you allowed to read from the Bible? Yes, you can read from the Bible.
So I'm going to read.
People, okay?
So if I read the Bible and that offends somebody, then so their rights trump mine.
If you're offending them, yes.
So by reading is the Bible an offense?
No, I haven't told you to read the Bible. is an offense.
Okay, so if I read the Bible and someone's offended by my projection of my faith, which I'm entitled to project,
Yep.
so you're saying I'm wrong for projecting what the Bible says. What did I do that caused them alarm?
You're speaking about homosexuality. I am talking to you. I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm talking to you.
But we've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time. Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
Ireland's new hate speech bill takes those existing issues and dials them up to 11, sprinkles in some police state authoritarianism, and adds a little thought crime, criminalising you for things you may have never even said. The bill's first problem is that it does away with the silly idea of actually trying to define what hate is in a hate speech bill, and it simply says, hatred means hatred against a person or a group of persons in the state or elsewhere on account of their protected characteristics. Yes, that's right. In a bill limiting the essential human rights of every single citizen, they defined hatred as hatred in a circular definition. So the bill defined the context in which they're going to use the word, but made absolutely zero attempt to define what hatred actually is, meaning hatred can be anything that the government want or need it to be. And what are those protected characteristics? Well, there are 10 according to the bill that you can see on screen. The most interesting, of course, these days is gender. Ireland has had gender self-identification since 2015. So what does the bill define gender as? Well, the bill says gender means the gender of a person or the gender which a person expresses as the person's preferred gender, or with which the person identifies, and includes transgender and a gender other than those of male and female. So gender is entirely subjective, based on your own identification, has nothing to do with your biology, and there is absolutely zero limits or barriers to what gender you can be or how many genders there are. So in theory, someone could identify as a pigeon, and if you commented on how ridiculous that is and how you think it's insanity, you could be charged with a hate crime with up to 5 years in jail according to the bill. And this isn't even the section that caused the bill to get international condemnation from the likes of Elon Musk, Jordan Peterson, Donald Trump Jr. and other free speech advocates. That dubious honour goes to the sections on search warrants and on preparing or possessing hateful materials. Under this bill, the police can get a search warrant for your home if you are merely suspected of possessing hateful materials, even if you never shared them or sent them to anyone. That's right, in Ireland, the Gardaí don't just kick your door in for possessing guns, bombs, fentanyl or human trafficking victims. They can do it if you are suspected of committing or merely possessing wrongthink. If that wasn't bad enough, they can also seize any electronic device of yours they wish. They can hold them for an indefinite period of time, and you will be legally compelled to give up your passwords. And just to put the perfect cherry on this dystopian, tyrannical police state horror show of a bill, if you are caught in possession of something that falls under the non-specific, incredibly broad definitions of hateful materials, then the burden of proof is on you to prove your innocence. The bill states that when someone is in possession of materials that they never shared, quote, "The person shall be presumed until the contrary is proved to have been into possession of the material in contravention of subsection 1, end quote. So this bill not only makes possession of incredibly broadly defined wrongthink illegal, it inverts the entire notion of innocent until proven guilty. You know, the cornerstone of all functioning justice systems. And if you want to destroy any remaining faith you might have had in the political system, know that this unprecedented attack on the most fundamental human rights of all citizens was passed in the Dáil with 89% of TDs voting in support of the bill. Despite the fact that when the public were consulted on the bill, 73% of the responses were against it. This night and day divide between what the people want and what the elite enact is a perfect demonstration of what the previously mentioned Electoral Commission is trying to maintain when they say their goal is to protect our democracy. All they really want to protect is their own power and control.
But we've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time. Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
The new hate crime laws that I speak of in Scotland are the ones that, seriously, they dangle the threat of up to 7 years in jail over the heads of anyone judged to have stirred up hatred against a protected group. And I'm using the language there of the new legislation. The protected groups in question are designated in the main on the grounds of race, sexuality and religion. Yusuf even made it the case that a person might be criminalised for things said in the privacy of the home. So it doesn't have to be something you put online for public consumption. It doesn't have to be something you say in the street or in the pub. It can be something you say at the dinner table in your own home, and let's say your child repeats it the next day at school. You could get a knock at the door from the authorities. Laws affecting the online world, all around the world, seek always to hide their true intentions behind claims of protecting children, when in reality they're about silencing free speech, pure and simple. Humza Yousaf's new legislation in Scotland is a threat in the real world, though. Ineptly and imprecisely policing words said out loud, as well as anything put on social media or whatever. In Scotland, the police can't get around to investigating burglaries and violent crime. You know, good luck getting any of that looked into if it happens to you, but they have nonetheless vowed that they will investigate every single complaint of hate crime. So we can see where the priorities lie. Even where investigation of a complaint finds that no crime was committed, nonetheless, whatever was said or written will still be archived as a non-crime hate incident. How's that for a form of words? A non-crime hate incident that will be it'll be against an innocent person's name on their permanent record forever, even though no crime was committed in the first place.
But we've had free speech for a very, very long time in the United Kingdom, and it will last for a very, very long time. Well, no, I mean, certainly we wouldn't want to reach across US citizens, and we don't, and that's absolutely right. But in relation to free speech in the UK, I'm very proud of our history there.
We're up against a phenomenon that we have never seen, and that is the big lie. The big lie is not just stretching the truth. The big lie is not just fibbing. The big lie is creating a parallel universe.
The top concern for the next 2 years is not conflict or climate. It is disinformation and misinformation.